Hello everyone, Amy Medford with Medford Knife and Tool. Sean on the camera. Video 3 of the day. I have a bunch of Panzers. I mean, I haven't seen Panzers in a long time, and there's a bunch here on the table headed out to Blade HQ. Justin and Timote and Jake, hello. They kind of gave me the go-ahead to put together 4 different types of configurations of knives. So I kind of went through and picked what I thought was going to look best. I hope you guys all like it, because Sean and I did a bunch of laser work on these knives, and there's some sculpting and other customizations done to these. So I'll kind of walk you through them and show you what we got. Blade HQ, you all know who they are. They're in Lehi, Utah, 400 South, 100 East in Suite E. And you can always reach them on bladehq.com. Let's see what we got. All right, so we're working our way into options 2 and 3 on the Envolée, Theseus, and Eris. So we have an Envolée here in option 3, which is our tuxedo. So it's a tumbled blade with PVD handles and tumbled clip. We have reverse tuxedo in the Theseus and tuxedo, so you can see them kind of side by side. In both of these versions, the bolster portion is polished. In the reverse tuxedo, the PVD blade and hardware and clip creates that reverse effect. And in the traditional tuxedo, the blade is tumbled, the bolster is polished, and the handle and spring are PVD. All right, let's dive into our Panzers. So in our first configuration, I know they look pretty straightforward, but I always love having the perimeters polished. I think it adds just a little bit of polish, a little bit of class. It's not over the top. So if you like a knife that's a little more subtle, it doesn't have too much extra bling or customizations, but you want something that's added a little bit of flair to it, I really like the polished perimeters. So on these 4 knives here, that's essentially what has been done. By hand, our grinders at the last minute after anodizing take these and run the perimeters around and just kind of brush the color off. And it's not a high polished, so I would probably call them brushed. All right, so that's our first configuration of Panzers. We've done several that have been lasered. This one here is pretty subtle. It's got the star and bars on it. Nice Air Force colors, star and bars. We do have 2 sculpted here. Greg did these personally. I like how he did these, and those are brushed silver, and the top ones were anode. So it's got a nice contrast. Some anode on the back as well. Sculpting that fades out on the peaks. And then I have 5 knives here. I love this effect. Essentially what I have what the boys do is they'll polish the handle and spring and then go in afterwards and flame it, and it gets this very cool kind of oil slick effect. You can see it looks like lazy rivers through here. I mean, it's just so cool. So they're polished and flamed, and they just have this mirror-like iridescent, each of them slightly different. I mean, just so cool. You've got to be careful with these because it is polished, you know, in and out of the pocket. You don't want to scratch it up. Now we have a very cool selection of some lasered. I would call this a spiral checker, a radial checker. And we don't do this on the spring. We don't want to touch the spring too much because we don't want to affect the functionality of the knife. So you'll notice on most of our knives, the lasering, the sculpting is heavy on the handle and much less on the spring. These are the disco, that's our disco knife. Very cool circles, disco circles. What are you calling this, Sean?
Blue hexes.
Blue hexes. I call it the Cubert. Cool, blue and violet. This actually reminds me of the Blade HQ lead page. Those 2 little parts of the cube here, the blue parts. I love that. 3-dimensional cubes on there. These look like Asian fans to me. We took this off of a larger piece of artwork that's an Art Deco pattern, but in a smaller version on the Panzer here, it looks Asian. Very nice. And then here, very Art Deco, these kind of circles. They layer on top of each other. There's a couple different colors here depending on the depth. So, I mean, a lot of Panzers, a lot of cool options here. I hope that you are able to get your hands on some of these very cool knives headed to Blade HQ. They'll probably get packed up and head out today. We're at the very end of September, and this year is just blowing by, just blowing by. I wish everybody well. I hope you have a great day, a great afternoon, and until the next time, I'm out.